Hi, my name is Catherine Beale. I'm a painter and watercolour specialist living and working in the World Heritage City of Bath in the UK, and I'm really excited today because I've been sent these wonderful watercolours from M. Graham & Co. in the US, and I'm really excited to get to try them because during some of my workshops some of the participants have mentioned this idea of honey in paint, and I was intrigued to find out more. They've sent along lots of lovely luscious colours. I've picked the ones that I already use so that I can compare them to existing professional watercolour brands that I am using. So just to get an idea, a feel for the difference, this honey in the carrier along with gum arabic, how it improves the flow. So if I can show you that in real time, what I've done is I have taken my watercolours, pop them into a palette. So these are all M. Graham colours. I've dolloped a large chunk of tube paint, and then I've added water to them all. And I'm going to show you a little bit of how they move. So I thought it might be good to draw a little bee for you. So we've got honey in this paint. This is one I've already painted. So I think I'm going to work from one of my photos and just quickly draw the bee in, so that I can paint it for you. So I've just changed my water, got my brush ready, and I'm just going to do some wet and wet mixing. What I'm going to do first is pop some of these very soft raw sienna in with the end of the brush. This is this area on the top of the bee, and I want to have some brightness to that, so I'm going to add in this azocrine yellow. Azo yellow should brighten it up a little bit like that. That's sort of glowing in the sun. And then we've got indigo. Let's see how much this spreads into. Oh, it's going the other way. That's quite interesting. So this is the bee's head in the flower. And then it's got a sort of a antenna. So the indigo is a really nice dark colour, actually. I really like it. The two colours are spreading beautifully together, the indigo and the raw sienna. And we're going to carry on now with the indigo under here, picking up some strong indigo and going round the end of the wing. Now the wing looks to me like soft burnt umber, really. You can see through it to the flowers beyond, and I don't mind that spreading. Ooh. So this is what they say they do, and they really do spread beautifully. I'm quite excited about that. I'm not actually loading in lots of extra water because it's moving so much, just for control, but once I've got this in for the wings, I'm aware of the background colour, which is going to be greens and things. I might put a bit more of that wonderful yellow in, just for fun. Oh, the spread. And some in here, maybe too much. But this is a bit of my own interpretation. And then we've got the quinacridone violet. I just love that colour, and I'm going to put a little bit in just for fun. Just tend to do that. Okay, so we've got a couple of pools of colour for the wings. And then what I'm going to do is get a little bit drier. I'm going into the solid indigo. I'm leaving a tiny gap here. And because it's hairy, this little bee, I'm going to see how that indigo, the solid indigo, will spread with the rigger. So creating a little bit of a source of dark. So this is the bee's body, and I'm putting in some burnt umber. And that burnt umber will go up into a little bit of yellow here. Let's see what happens. Ooh, quite exciting. I might mix the orange this time with a bit of quinacridone rose and yellow. Let's go in with some more of the yellow, just get it stronger. And this is where the pollen is on its leg. And now this flower is going to be a lovely colour. It's going to be a combination of that yellow. I've got some more of that yellow. The speed is so fast when it moves. This paint really moves. And I'm going to try this time a bit of the quinacridone violet to see what happens. Ooh, now this is very wet and wet. And it's a sort of dusky. That's better for the colour of the flower, with a little bit of raw sienna in there. Move it around a bit, get some curvature going, and then back in with the violet with the big brush. So my painting is now dried, and I'm going to go in with some finer detail, some more definition. What I've done is actually just upped the brightness of the yellow a little bit by using a cadmium yellow light, fairly neat, on some of these areas that I just wanted a bit of freshness. So I'm finding that the cadmium is great. The azo yellow is a little bit more soft and subtle, and so I just boosted that brightness of the area on the bees' legs, etc. So what I'm going to do now is actually just cut in some of the paint and just see how much I can make this area of wing glow. And there's a choice about whether we take it off entirely, the paint, or whether I leave it in a bit. So these are just sort of cells on the wing, and I'm able to cut in very nicely into this paint. So that was the mixture of the raw sienna and the burnt umber and a bit of the quinacridone violet. And so there's a bit of shine now in these cells, and I'll just carry on doing a bit of that. I really love lifting off for this because it's so soft, and the corner of this little brush can really dig in and leave a small amount of shine behind. And there's another cell going down here, quite a nice strong contrast. And then there's the edge of the flower showing up where the bee's head is stuck inside. A little bit more here, and maybe a little bit of burnt umber brown, nice rich brown, to create some more feathery hairs on the bee's head, and then quite dark on this side where it's stuck inside. And then he's got, yeah, these are all just sharp details, aren't they? I just left the painting to dry so I could get these in all sharply defined. But while I'm doing this, I am aware of the soft way that the Grain colours have run, and I wouldn't want to get rid of some of this beautiful merging that's going on. Say in this leg, the teal has really beautiful, so I won't cover that up. It's picking and choosing what you want to keep and not. Now what I think I'm going to do, instead of using sap green, I'm using a large area of phthalo blue, phthalo cyanine blue, and I'm going around the edge of this flower. And this is a leaf. It's going to be green, so what I'm going to do is just pop some yellow in. Let's see how the yellow creates a nice green. So this is the Axo yellow. Phthalo blue. I love phthalo blue. Sorry, it's very strong, but I shouldn't apologise because that's just what I love.